Hello, my name is James Olsen from Reality Sales Training, and welcome to the Sales Reality Check. Today we're going to talk about how to hire a sales team to win. Here's the thing, you already know this, but the biggest waste of money is hiring somebody, investing time, energy, money into them and having them fail. And most companies really struggle with how to hire salespeople. So I'm going to give you some pointers today. This isn't all of it, but I'm going to give you some pointers. Number one, we're hiring for character versus experience. Resumes with a ton of experience are great, but you need to know who you want, what kind of salesperson you want, because every company is different. Some are more, commission-based and maybe more aggressive, and some are more service-based and maybe a little less aggressive. So you have to know who your target is, what kind of salesperson you want. But even within that, character over experience will always trump when you're hiring salespeople. I'm just going to leave it at that. You already know what I'm talking about. You've made the mistake. You've hired somebody with a lot of experience, but you did not push really hard on the character issues. When I say character, matching your culture, and you end up with somebody that 9 months later has caused all kinds of problems, not just financial, but culture problems within your organization. Okay, the interview process. Number one, since we're just going to look at the experience, they've got the basics. Now we're going to start asking character questions. What I want you to do, number one, is take them back to grade school. So I want you to say, John, Susan, let's go back to third grade. Who was your favorite teacher? What would your favorite teacher say about you? Who was your least favorite teacher? What would they say about you? Psychologically now, number one, they cannot prepare for these questions. Number two, so we're going to get to their true character by asking questions that they cannot prepare for. If you ask them, what is your 5-year goal? Everybody can prepare for that. If you can ask them, what did you do as a welder and such, or what products did you sell? Everybody can ask those questions and they're prepared for them, and we can't find out their true character. But if we ask them questions they cannot prepare for, we can find out their true character. So I like to take them back, kind of hypnotically, back to when they were 10 years old. And so, what was Mrs. Johnson like? And so then I just take them through grade school, high school, college, their career, and I ask them a lot of the same questions coming from different angles. What would your favorite teacher say about you? What would your least favorite teacher say about you? What would your favorite coach say about you? What would your least favorite coach say about you? What would your coach say are your strongest attributes? What would he say your weakest attributes are? What did you like about your last boss? What didn't you like about your last boss? What would you have done differently than your last boss? What would your last boss what would your last boss tell us about you? And what I'm looking for through all these questions is character. I'm looking for, number one, I'm looking for initiative. So those are going to be my winners. Those are the people I want to hire. So when I take them through grade school, did they do any, did they sell newspapers? Did they sell eggs? Did they raise their own chickens? Did they rake leaves? Did they shovel snow? Did they show any initiative, or their parents paved the whole way? Okay? And then secondarily, the deal killer for me on all jobs, whether it be sales or any other, is excuse making. I'm looking for excuse makers because I do not want them on my team. Because once they start because if they were making excuses before, you're going to hire them, and guess what? It's going to be your fault, and they're going to make excuses about you. Another thing I like to do is ask situational questions because you cannot prepare for them. So for salespeople, I might say it's your best customer, and they really need this order, and you really need the order, and you're having a terrible month. And they tell you, if you can ship this, you're telling them, I can ship this in 2 to 3 weeks. And they say, if you can ship it in 2 weeks, I'll give you the order. And you know that you cannot. Or you know there's a possibility that you can ship it in 2, a high probability, but you know you can't guarantee it. What do? Now, you can set those up. That's not as ambiguous as you could make it. You want to make it as ambiguous and hard to understand, because if you make it too clear, then they're just going to give you the answer you want. You want to make it unclear. So your situational questions, take some time and set those up. One thing that I'll do for sales managers is I'll say, okay, you're my sales manager. Your number one salesman calls you. It's 3:30 in the morning on Sunday. He's drunk and he doesn't want his wife to find out, and he wants you to come pick him up and take him home. What do? No, I'm not going to tell you what I'm looking for with that. Different people are looking for different things. That's what I would call a situational question that is ambiguous. When you set that up the way that you want it, you'll find out their true character. Use your team to help you interview people. We don't know everything. You don't know everything. You have different people on your team that have different perspectives. You'll be surprised by the insights that some of your more quiet members will have. So make sure that you use your team. The other thing about using your team is when you do hire somebody, you have buy-in. Now, there's a million things we could talk about more about hiring people. These are some of the very basics and very important. I'm going to give you one more thing. Very, very practical. Hire them and give them a trial period, 90 days to 180 days if you can in your state. A trial period so you can live with them a little bit. Say, we're going to give you a trial period, 6 months. At the end of that time, we'll decide whether we're going forward. That way, if they are an excuse maker or you do have problems, you can get rid of them without having HR issues. I'm not talking about bait and switch. I'm talking about being very honest up front and saying, Bob, we're going to hire you. We think you can do this job. We're going to, with everybody that works here, we give them a 6-month trial. And at the end of that time, we sit down, we do a review of your progress, and we go forward either way. So, my name is James Olsen with Reality Sales Training. This is about hiring to win. I appreciate your time. And until next time, let's go get an order.